Welcome to Series 3, the Business English Mini Course. I'm Sarah, and this is Mark, and we are kicking off with the most important, high-pressure business conversation of your life, the job interview.
That's right, Sarah. And look, at the B2 level, interviewers aren't worried if you forget a preposition. They are listening for structure and confidence. This episode is about giving answers that don't just sound correct, but sound persuasive.
Let's jump straight into the toughest ones, behavioral questions. These are the tell me about a time when questions. Why do companies ask these, Mark?
They ask them because past behavior predicts future performance. They want a story, but most candidates just ramble. The secret? You need a structure. We call it the STAR method.
The STAR method is non-negotiable for B2 job interviews. It forces you to be concise. Let's break it down quickly. S. Situation. What was the background? Keep it brief. T. Task. What was your specific objective? A. Action. What did you specifically do? This is the core of your answer. R. Result. What was the outcome? And more importantly, what did you learn?
Perfect. Now let's tackle the most common behavioral trap. Tell me about a time you failed or made a mistake. The key here is the 80-20 rule.
I love the 80-20 rule here. You spend 20% of your time describing the situation and the task, and 80% on the action you took to fix it, and the result, what you learned. The mistake itself is secondary.
Exactly. A poor answer just describes the failure. I missed the deadline because I miscalculated the hours. A B2 answer focuses on the recovery and learning. The situation was that I was leading a new project, and the task was to deliver the first phase within 6 weeks. Due to a misunderstanding in the requirements, I made a mistake in the initial budget calculation. The action I took was immediate. I didn't hide it. I immediately informed my manager, presented a revised plan, and worked overtime to mitigate the damage. The result was that we only missed the deadline by 2 days, and consequently, I implemented a triple-check system for all future budget proposals.
That is so strong. You demonstrated honesty, accountability, and most importantly, a growth mindset. You turned a failure into a new, improved process.
Now for the most dreaded question. What is your greatest weakness? Sarah, what's the B2 rule for answering this no, I work too hard, please?
No fake weaknesses allowed. The B2 answer is honest, but immediately followed by a solution. You state the weakness, and then you explain the action you are taking to fix it. I realized that I have a tendency to become overwhelmed when juggling multiple high-priority projects, especially when I lack clarity on the overall vision. Consequently, my action is that I'm currently taking an advanced time management course focused on strategic prioritization. This allows me to structure my workflow more effectively and ensure I allocate time based on impact.
Brilliant. You took a real weakness, becoming overwhelmed, and immediately demonstrated that you recognize it and you're actively working to mitigate it. You showed a plan, not a complaint.
Finally, Mark, let's talk about the value proposition. This is the end game.
Yes, your value proposition is the unique benefit you bring to their team. It's not about your experience, it's about how your transferred skills solve their problems. In your final answer, tie everything back to the job description.
So, if the job description mentions needing a bridge between two teams, your final sentence should be, my deep background in technical sales, provided that I apply my communication skills, allows me to bridge the gap between technical and marketing teams, which I believe is my key value proposition for this role.
And with that, we've wrapped up episode 61, the launch of our business mini course.
Remember, structure and confidence are key. Use that STAR method and practice turning those weaknesses into action plans.
That's the perfect closing sentence. By structuring your answers with STAR, demonstrating a growth mindset, and focusing on your value proposition, you stop sounding like an intermediate speaker seeking a job and start sounding like an essential professional partner.
Remember, structure and confidence. Use that STAR method and practice turning those weaknesses into action plans.
Absolutely. Now, since interviews are high-pressure situations, many of you told us you tend to freeze when you can't remember a specific word. That hesitation can break your confidence.
It can. If you want to eliminate those awkward silences and keep your fluency flowing naturally, we have the perfect episode for you to review. Go back and check out episode 35, Stop Freezing, What to Say When You Don't Know the Word.
That episode teaches you specific, natural phrases to buy yourself time, paraphrase effectively, or politely ask for help without losing control of the conversation. It's essential for high-stakes speaking.
Keep unlocking your B2 English.